For the last decade, many of the world's best surfers have emerged from the west and east coast of the United States, and California's wave-rich shoreline has been a training ground for most of them. This year, the competitive opportunity doubles with the addition of a brand new Pro-Am tour. Stay with us for the next half hour as up-and-coming amateurs as well as established surfing professionals battle it out in the inaugural event of the Professional Surfing Tour of America.
We'd like to welcome everybody to the inaugural Professional Surf Tour of America's event here at the Bluffs at San Onofre. If you're just coming down to the beach today, this is the first event in the Series of 6 that's going to go on in California, culminating with the final on the island of Molokai on Oahu. And right now we got great competitive surf out there.
Well, about a year ago, Scott Waring, my head judge, and I went and met in Malibu, went out for a surf, and we sat down and actually we had breakfast there at the breakfast place across the street. So, well, what's it going to take for us to do this tour? And here, a year and a half later, so we're at our first stop in San Clemente. And this is such a great location. But what we're looking forward to is events down the line: the Seaside, Oceanside, Morro Bay, Ocean Beach, and if all goes well, we'll be in Molokai in December for the tour championship. Down the line, we'll see new events. We're looking at adding the Florida stop, which will probably be Sebastian Inlet, and North Carolina stop at Cape Hatteras. So the tour is going to grow. We're going to keep pushing to make it bigger. It's just the beginning right now.
It seems to be going like more of a surfers tour where we're really listening to them. We've extended heats when the waves are bigger, and so they get good 3 waves, and the vibe's been really good. You know, they needed a tour, and we're going to constantly listen to them and work with them. Give them what they want, and then they'll give us what we want, which is good surfing.
We tried to bring a lot of things that we felt the competitors would appreciate. We brought the Heat Winners prize pool back. In the first rounds, the competitor can win $25 for a heat win. Then it goes to 50, 75, up to 100. So there's like 120 ways a competitor can win money in the tour. We're paying 8 places, in men's and women's, and I think that's real compelling.
Heat Winners is great because it pushes guys, I think, a little bit harder. If you're in second or third, even if you're in first in the heat, you still have to really dominate, and it makes you really want to win the heat.
I don't know. I think it's a pretty cool event. You know, if you win your heat, you make money every heat. So it's a pretty good system. Plus they have the double elimination, which is pretty cool in case you have like a shocker. You know, you can get back in it.
As far as the format, what we're doing is we're having a first round heat, and then the surfers that don't advance out of that will actually go into an LCQ where they get a second chance to get back into the event. The reason we're doing that is it gets back to the idea of it's a training program for these up-and-comers. Once they've been in a few events, they'll have a seed, and the higher up the seed, the less you got to go into that first round. But that way, we get surfers constantly entering the event. They can get in there and get a second chance. I myself traveled the world, and there's nothing worse than flying somewhere and losing your first heat and going home. So it's a really neat thing, actually.
It's 20 minutes, do or die, pretty much. You're $4,000 out in Australia, and you miss one wave or you lose by 1/100th of a point or something. So it's a frustrating sport in the fact that you don't get a whole lot of chances. So the second chance round is kind of neat in this thing, and so he's got some good ideas that are going to help, I think.
Well, I think Jeff's doing a great job of organizing these events. He's obviously get these first few events under his belt. He obviously has a lot of experience in doing events. I think the next step for him, it's a very organized event. The judging's great. I think that the main thing now is getting the whole industry behind it, really getting the word out that these events are going on. And I think, you'll see, I think the companies and the industry will really get behind this, and the magazines too, because I think everyone feels like it's time for a tour here, without a doubt.
We'll be back with the Open Division quarterfinals after this.
The PSTA is being brought to you by Paul Mitchell. Look your best with Paul Mitchell products. Want a solution? See your hairstylist. By 2bid4.com, the web auction directory. and by ProSurfingTour.com. It's all about surfing.